There was one disappointment, and that was that I actually had my editor work on a abridged version, because the last stream, if you don't know, was about 2.5 hours long, out of which around 2 solid hours was reacting to the documentary. It didn't do well. In fact, it didn't even do nearly as well as the stream. This has actually been happening over on my DSP gaming channel over the last month to month and a half. The stream itself from part 1, I believe, you know, has like maybe just under 3,000 views. The highlight has like 1,500. Okay, so to be honest, I just don't think it's worth it to have the highlights be made. You know, this is not me having unlimited time to edit them. It's me paying someone to do it, and it just didn't really turn out well, all right? Not the product. I'm just saying the response to the product. So, okay, so Guitar Player says, I'm glad to see you return to reacting, and I want to say publicly that PPP calling Jeremy fat is ironic. I don't know that he's done that. I'm sure he has. I mean, he calls everyone fat, including me. I've got chubbiness all around. You know what they call it, the spare tire or whatever? I got the spare tire. Sky Jogger, thank you for $5. He says, I'm not a fan of this content. I'm a fan more of your gaming stuff, because I know you're branching out, and that's okay. Listen, it's cool. It's not for everyone. Number one is, this is a unique situation where people for weeks were asking for my opinion. When I gave it, it actually did numbers, and people liked the video I put out on it. Wrong. That's a lie. That's a complete lie. Secondly, as I get older, all right, I'm not going to be able to be a full-time gamer anymore. Just being real, you know, as I get older, when I get 50, 60 years old, I don't think people are going to care too much about DSP playing a certain video game or whatever. You know what I mean? Well, now, by the way, I'm not saying that I'm not going to be a gamer forever. I want to be, right? But I'm also a realist. I'm not stupid. I'm not living in the clouds. And I understand that as I get older, my cognitive abilities, my hand-eye coordination will wane. I'll probably get some arthritis. I already have some in my right hand a little bit. So there's not much I can really do about that, right? You just got to accept it. Got to do other kinds of stuff. This is one of the things that I think I can do. It sounds to me like I might have gout.
Jeremy and Coach Red Pill also compared their subscriber count. Most importantly, the two compared their estimated net worth.
How many figures?
Net, probably low sevens.
Okay.
At 35.
At 35. Okay, good.
Jeremy claimed to be a millionaire. This otherwise worthless information is dangerous when put alongside any would-be desperate plea for financial assistance. For the moment, it would drown under a sea of noise. For the present,
I was going to say, it definitely, if he's the kind of guy who's always like, oh, something went wrong and I need your support, rally behind me, pledge to my Patreon. If he then reveals to the internet that he's a millionaire, that could be a big detriment to his, you know, methodology of how he raises funds, you know? I may lose my house. I may lose my house. I may lose my house.
This specific story only made possible due to a chat member donating $500.
Somebody just fucking donated $500. I have to tell the story about how I shit my pants now.
I guess he was under the impression if he said it's going to take a $500 contribution, no one would do $500, then someone did. All right, hold on. Let's think about this. If someone does a $500 contribution right now, what story could I tell you? What story have I never told you that I could tell you that you'd actually like? Let me think about this. Because I've shared so much in the past about my past. Let me see here. Now I just got to figure out my what $500 story to offer you guys. When we hit 150, I'll tell you all about my underwear. Let me think about. I'm going to think of a story, a $500 story for you guys tonight, okay? But let's continue with the documentary first.
And like, you know, when you're gonna have a, I would say, watery shit, you can kind of tell, like, your stomach kind of gurgles. And
it's called the bubble guts, Jeremy. The bubble guts. What happens is you have a gaseous buildup inside of your intestinal tract, and you know that it's going to force everything out at a rapid pace, and it's not going to be well controlled whatsoever. If you try to hold it in, it causes extreme gastrointestinal pain. The bubble guts. Kitty Mittens did a super chat asking, do I have a scat fetish, or is it a new thing? Yes, what it is I'm infatuated with duties.
Well, we're grocery shopping, and it starts to hit me. I'm like, oh, I gotta shit. And then it's like, oh shit, it's time. And my mind immediately goes in like slow motion where I'm doing the calculation. I realized at this moment that there's a real possibility I might shit my pants. Because it was just like fucking happening.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Did they say this was the story of him shitting his pants at a Walmart? Because if this is him at a Walmart, If he's a millionaire, why does he shop at Walmart? If you're a millionaire, you go to the nice local grocery store that has the higher grade fruits and vegetables and the locally cut meats and everything that's fresher and better. You don't shop at Walmart. You shop at Walmart if you're broke. Does anyone think I'm destitute? Do any of you out there feel that I'm like broke as I'm sitting here in a relatively brand new sweater? Why isn't he at Whole Foods or Trader Joe's? Why is he at Walmart?
The inevitable happens. I hit the shoe section, which you guys haven't been at Walmart, but the shoe section, you're about halfway. You can see the bathrooms. The second I see the bathrooms, I get like shit radar. And I'm like, okay, it's happening now. And then
So was this story worth $500, do you think? Was it really worth $500, especially because he's like a millionaire? Was it really worth it for this story to be out there? I'm just saying, it's pretty embarrassing, you know? If we hit $3,500 of support, I would shave my beard.
And I'm going to shit my pants. It's happening. And so I burst into the bathroom. My pants are already half off. Shit's coming out of down my leg. There's a fucking dude at the urinal. And he whips his head around and said, dude, I'm shitting myself. Sorry. And there's shit all over the floor.
And for the record, I just want to address something. Jersey Kid in chat says, $1 million is not special anymore. Certainly not enough to stop working or shopping at Walmart. Working, I will agree with you. Shopping at Walmart is complete nonsense. I have never once, as a normal customer, walked through the front door of Walmart and shopped the store in my entire life. Nor will I. Like, I have absolutely no desire to do that. I know what kind of a company they are. I don't stand for them. I know what goes down at Walmart. Like, I would never shop there ever. To me, someone who absolutely forces themselves to go to Walmart is, you're just trying to stretch your money to the maximum. There is an entire group of people in this country that have to shop at Walmart because they can't afford to shop anywhere else. I'm not faulting those people. I'm saying if you're a millionaire, you don't shop at Walmart. There's a million other alternative places you could be shopping that are better places to shop quality-wise and just a million reasons why, okay? I would never be at Walmart with my family, period. I'm in line at Walmart.
On the topic of viewership, Jeremy began uploading 2 videos a day and began his crusade against celebrity Brie Larson.
Okay, now remember, on the last React, one of the things that we notably, broke out of that is that he seems to hyperfixate on a particular person and, like a bull seeing red, charges forward, attacking that person endlessly, and it causes internet drama, internet stirring up. Some people back him, some people are against him, but it gets him the attention he's seeking, and apparently it makes him the money he's seeking, right?
In his career, he's made 270 videos on the topic of or mentioning Brie Larson.
All right, I'm going to say this. That does sound kind of excessive and maybe obsessive. However, if I weren't me, I would be like, that's crazy. But I have people who literally make multiple videos about me a day. So in 1 year, they've already probably made somewhere between 600 to 1,000 videos about me in 1 year. And it's more than one person that does that. And I'm nobody. You have to understand that. Like, I'm a small-time creator, right? My existence has actually prominently impacted the internet and life, quite frankly. All right. And I'm happy and proud of that fact, that at least my existence on the internet has had a positive impact on so many. Little guy, right now I have 177 viewers on YouTube. And maybe how many do I have on Kick right now? 94? Or is that not correct? 94. So I've got like 260, 270 viewers. That's my average stream. And I got these nut jobs who obsess about me. Me. He's doing this to someone who's a real actress and a real celebrity. Therefore, he's probably getting exponentially even more interest and views on this content than anything that, that would be even done about me. In fact, just taking a look at this page here, he's got a video, 22nd of April, 2019, 6.9 million views. The Avengers cast savagely roasts Brie Larson about her lies about doing, so who even cares? He made 7 million views on a video about her. I'm jealous of you. So of course she's going to keep making the videos, right? This guy's probably made hundreds of thousands, if not $1 million, off of talking about this woman.
Jeremy on August 9th created a GoFundMe for the purpose of suing Matt Fantastic.
Again, I'm going to say this. He's supposedly a millionaire. All right? He's supposedly a millionaire. But he shops at Walmart, and he has to have a GoFundMe to be raised to go to court to sue the guy. What do you need to GoFundMe for? I thought you're a millionaire. I'm very confused. You know, just like last summer, I was confused, and I'm still confused. Like right now, if I were a millionaire and I actually was rolling in money, okay, I'm good for life because I'm making so much money on YouTube, and I actually felt like someone really wronged me or my family, I would just sue them. I wouldn't wait for the GoFundMe funds to come in to do it. I would just sue them. Just saying. I just go for it. But at the same time, this is exactly the pattern that we have seen with him, right? First, he gets in trouble with the Magic the Gathering. They're not going to fly me to events anymore. Well, fund me on Patreon so I can still afford to go. Oh, look, I'm banned from Magic the Gathering now. I can't participate in events. I can't do anything. Well, pledge to my Patreon to support me anyway. Well, this guy attacked me. Pledge to my GoFundMe. That I honestly was jealous of that.
This was just the first of Jeremy's fundraising efforts, started in 2018 to reach an unsatisfying conclusion. The second was a fundraiser for Exclusively Games, a video game, tabletop, and arcade game media website campaigning as a space devoid of politics. Quote-unquote, all games, no politics.
Isn't this guy a Culture Wars, focused creator? But now he wants to do all games, no politics? Isn't that the antithesis of the content that he makes? It's a little weird. 5,391 backers, and he got over $159,000. This is the second major campaign now. Remember I asked last time, I said, is this how it works? Hey guys, I'm announcing right now this interesting new campaign. All right, I'm going to go for it. Which is GoFundMe? I'm going to open a GoFundMe. All right, you ready? Creators Against Reacting. Because we all know that reacting to anything on the internet is the absolute worst content possible. I'm staunchly against it, and we need to stop it. So I'm announcing right now during this live react stream, Gamers Against Reacting on GoFundMe. Send me funds right now. And he raised $159,000 for it. Wow.
Jeremy was also having problems with YouTube's claim system, a system often abused.
What was this? I don't know when he's complaining about this point right now. I've lost track of the timeline because it jumped around a little bit there.
YouTube is still allowing them to leave claims on YouTubers' videos. This has been going on for years. Years.
What? Is he drunk? He's pretty upset. And normally he doesn't sound like this. He's freaking out. So he's crashing out. I think he's drunk.
They don't do anything about it. I'm sick of this shit. You have no idea what it's like to put a 2, 3, 4 videos a day and then have some dickhole claim your video and say, well, 10% of people will only fight this claim. I guess we'll just milk money off people who are clearly in fair use. And you know what, Marvel, you're part of this too.
Here's the thing. I can tell you from exactly the same perspective he's been in, he's not wrong at all. The YouTube system is totally broken. It's one-sided towards some corporation who mass loads their content into the site, into this tool, this content ID matching tool. It doesn't properly vet the content to see if there's fair use or anything like that. It just claims, and it puts the actual responsibility of clearing up erroneous claims on the person who got claimed rather than on the company that's rich and is claiming the content. It is insanely frustrating, okay?
Oh, yeah, content ID! Content ID! Content ID alert!
But my question is, who is he complaining to? This is a public stream to his viewers, right? So they didn't make the YouTube system, okay? They're not responsible for how bad the system is. Maybe every once in a while telling them, just so you know, this system sucks, it can hurt. But it sounds like he's really upset. And he's screaming at his audience for this. And if he's making 20 million views a month on YouTube, arguably, even if a third of his content is getting erroneously claimed and therefore he loses that revenue, he's still doing well. Maybe he's not doing as well as he should be doing, and he has a right to be frustrated, but I don't know why he's yelling at his public audience about it. Like, I've talked about it over the years to my audience, especially at times when, like, things are rough for me financially. I'm like, damn, you know, guys, I'm a small guy, and to have my content claimed like this hurts a lot. But for him, he's a huge dude. And he's getting the same frustration, but he's screaming at him like, you know, it's not make or break for him. The sky isn't falling because his content is getting claimed. So maybe this is him, you know, again, he's drinking and he's doing a stream where he's inebriated, and now he's venting to the audience that really can't help him, and it makes him look bad, right? I mean, for what we're seeing here, this is a history of him getting on social media and doing these posts that aren't, from an outsider who doesn't have the context to see that tweet, is like, damn, is he, like, angry that this guy doesn't like Hitler? That's weird. Because, you know, I'd say most people probably don't like Hitler. They probably think that most of the choices he made in life were pretty poor. And he's not someone to look up to or defend if someone doesn't like him. Nazis, Hitler, Nazis. But in context, okay, but there was no context in the tweet, right? So it's very confusing that that's the case, that he's doing this over and over and he keeps getting called out for it, yet he continues to do it. Okay, and this is an important question. Maybe you guys in chat can answer this for me. Is Jeremy, like, known for getting into this heated stuff on social media, but keeping it out of his videos? Because I keep thinking to myself, if you want to be taken in context, make a video about this. Immediately say, this was out of context. Here's what I really meant. This should be what everyone knows. And then tweet the video. The video can't be taken out of context. Do you see? So, because the problem is with these tweets and everything, you can't get your thought out. You get a half thought. People misconstrue the thought. They think there's sarcasm when there's not, or there is sarcasm, but they can't tell. Just make the video to explain yourself, right? Some people are saying, no, he does make these videos. Because this is confusing. Why is it? Well, I wouldn't even respond. If someone was accusing me of doing something heinous right now on X, Phil said this insanely awful thing, the first thing I would do is make the video, post the video, and then put it on X. Dark side, Phil the lol cow. Now you can't call me out and say I didn't say something because it's right there, black and white. Here's my video, right? So I think that he could have done that, but I don't know what's going on that he claps back like this with all these tweets. And by the way, every time that there's a tweet and then another one after the tweet and another one after the tweet, no one reads the second tweet. Maybe he's the kind of guy, he should have just stuck right to the videos and not do the social media stuff, which pretty much is what I do now. Like, I don't engage with social media almost ever. I just post my schedule up there. Anything you want to know about me, you want to talk about me, come to my stream. You want to hear what my thoughts are, watch the video. I'm not giving you free shit on social media that then you can spin out of proportion and say I said something I didn't say. Come to my channel. That's how I handle it, but I'm a small-time guy.
I've been very, very stressed over the past week or two, and I've tried to not let on to it, but I can't figure it out, and I need your help. Something is really weird with my YouTube channel.
According to Jeremy's Social Blade, this is the dip he was speaking of. A viewership decrease of 2 million, going from 14 million in February to 12 million in March.
And I'm sorry I don't have the energy, but I'm just frustrated and tired.
I'm not immune to this. I'm not above this. I've done it. There's been times when I was doing really well for myself and I saw a decline in YouTube. And I would say to the viewers, I'm not sure what's going on. I don't know if it's that you guys aren't getting notifications. I don't know if you guys are not interested in this particular game or whatever. Like, this totally happened to me. I would say this actually happened to me around 2012, 2013. Now, keep in mind, I had only done YouTube full time since like 2011. You know, it was always a hobby until like late 2010, early 2011. And then all of a sudden I noticed between like 2012, 2013, I would do certain game playthroughs and they would just not get any views compared to, like, it used to be a point where anything I did would get views. I just gotta say, all you people on YouTube better fucking look out, because now you got someone who actually has time, effort, talent, and I'm gonna put it towards this, and if it works out, you're in trouble. It didn't matter what game I played. I could be scratching my ass on camera. I'd get like 20,000 views scratching my ass. Okay? Then all of a sudden that kind of went away. And it could simply be stagnation. And what I would do the same thing. I would go to my audience and I would say, man, I'm disappointed because I thought that I was going to continue on this trend of growth, and now it's kind of plateauing. And what does that mean? Because I had aspirations to move, and I had aspirations to do this and do that. And if it means that my income is plateauing now and my views are plateauing, maybe that means that I can't do any of that stuff that I wanted to do. And you know, I don't know if it's really fair to share that with your audience. Okay? I'm telling you that now, 14 years later after the fact. But I don't know if it's fair to share that and to put that on your audience, because that's a thing for you to figure out, right? Like, really, in reality, why am I plateauing? Why am I not growing anymore? Why did I go down in views this month? Okay? You should try to figure that out before you put it on your viewing audience and be like, well, it must totally be because YouTube is secretly hiding my channel. Well, I'm just spitballing here, but I do feel like to do this and come out publicly and talk about it like this, is it the end of the world that he was getting 14 million views and now he's only getting 12? No, he's still doing well for himself. So why are you really talking about it and complaining about it? I don't get it.
Jeremy, inebriated, scorned, and suffering from a lack of pizza, sought to take his revenge. The object of his derision would have to be the drain in his basement.
I gotta pee so bad. I want to lose so I can pee, but I don't want to lose. I have to pee so bad, though. Get up! Get up! No! I've literally never lost that round. I've never lost that round.
Why does he sounds like me? That's totally something I would say. Huh?
I really wasn't going to respond to it, but, once he starts talking about my wife, repeatedly, then I kind of have a problem. I barely even I probably watched a grand total of 15 minutes of this, and it seemed like every little spot I picked, he was talking about my wife. My wife is somebody that remains offline, does not interact with anybody, and no, I don't believe she's fair game. Because he can't stop talking about my wife.
So this is the thing, this is very similar to what just happened, where he called out the casino and said, listen, you can make fun of me as much as you want. I find actually your content funny, but the fact that you bring up my wife and my family, that's where you cross the line, right? So that's what gets me, so what happened? This is 6 years ago. But what prompted all the different reactions today, which apparently there is many different ones. The flagging, the again, this is all supposed. Supposedly him getting the Kino Casino Clips channel taken down, saying it's ban evasion, because supposedly he got Andy Worski's YouTube channel retaken down. I've already talked about this weeks ago on DSP Gaming in that initial video that I made about the topic, right?
Jeremy would make it seem as if Ethan Klein was making disparaging remarks about his wife. In the content court video that Jeremy did not watch, Jeremy's wife is only brought up when Jeremy brings up his wife. From when he urinated in his basement, to his comments about her disbelief that he was not using her lotion to masturbate. Jeremy on the Incredible Solvemind channel would admit to not watching this video once more.
I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it.
There's insane amounts of content made about me. I watch none of it. Okay? Being honest with all of you, I watch none of it.
False, wrong, incorrect, negative, no, nay, absolutely not. Fuck that, Phil. You are a dirty, rotten liar.
But I also don't react to it. You know what I'm saying? I know that someone did oh, Phil, did you hear another documentary got made about you today? I don't care. Phil, did you hear there's a Christmas special about you?
Holly jolly Christmas Day.
I don't care. So I just ignore it. If I'm going to react about it, I'll watch it to know what was in it before I react, and then I don't even know what I'm talking about. Just ignore it. If really you feel like you're above it, it's not a big deal. It's just nonsense. It's someone being disingenuous. Just ignore it. So in general, people who are making defamatory videos about me, that's also not my viewer base. So who cares? Let them make content for these people and then ignore it and do your own thing. And that's what I've learned. And listen, it was hard for me to learn that. It was a long time of me making content and trying to find a way to do it right and not get triggered by that crap. And now I just pay no attention to it anymore. But if you're going to react like he did, make a whole video about it, you at least need to know what you're talking about. If you don't watch it, then don't react, just ignore it. That's my advice. And that's what I do now. Ladies and gentlemen, I received a generous $20 tip from Dis and Dat. He says, I'm here. I've heard so much outrageous things about you from detractors. If I ever saw you doing the quartering type content and being fake like him, I would have stopped watching you in 2010. Thanks for providing meaningful content and harassing women for clicks. There you go. Maybe he meant to say, and not harassing women for clicks. Maybe he didn't. I don't know. You're fucking squatting on camera for money, you dumb shit. You fucking slut. I mean, I'll be honest. When I started, I basically harassed virtual women in the video games, right? Totally did. That was my old style of commentary, was the over-sexualized content and stuff like that. And, you know, I just don't do that stuff anymore. I've completely changed who I am as a creator for the better, I feel. Black Cat, who after playing Web of Shadows in 2009, I fell madly in love with, and her giant breasts, boobies, 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 titties, 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 titties. Damn it.
Kind of hold him off while I'm pissing so I don't piss on him. I'm like, God damn it. Anyway, yes, I have pissed on my dog too.
Jeremy, facing undue stress, released a video in February because his channel performed poorly the day before.
It goes by very different names, but if you've been around, you know that this channel has talked about it several times. My channel.
This is... Hold on. I got to do something. Ready? Give me 1 second. I want you to look underneath me. I'm going to turn my camera off for a second. Take a look under me, okay? Minds, Twitch, Parler, Rumble, BitChute, and he's also on YouTube. Are there any ways that he doesn't accept contributions? Like, I mean, surely he has a PayPal as well, right? Surely, and a Venmo? Of course, he must. He has to. We already know he has a Kickstarters. He has GoFundMes. We know that he has a Patreon. Maybe he got rid of his Patreon because it's not on there. But we know he had a Patreon at one point. Okay? What else? Does he accept mailed money? If so, does he have like a P.O. box you can mail him envelopes of cash? Does he accept Bitcoin? Does he... What else? Cash App. That's right, Cash App. We can't forget Cash App. There's got to be more. Can you have a carrier pigeon fly funds to this man? Because I may be interested in doing it that way. That might be the way that I've decided. Let's get some support. Let's get some subs. Let's get some kicks. Let's get some super chats. Let's get some memberships. Let's get some tips. Let's get some support for the stream tonight. We got to hit that goal so we can keep doing American Truck Sim every week. We're only 2 goals away from DSP tries it tomorrow. Let's go. I understand about diversification. I get it. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, especially when you get attacked on the internet for things you say and do. For example, you don't want the one way where you get most of your income to be shut down, and now you have no other way to make money. I get that. But I do think it's a little excessive. Minds, Twitch, Parler, Rumble, BitChute, YouTube, Patreon, GoFundMe. I'm seeing a pattern that perhaps there's a focus here. And of course, you don't understand, I also accept contributions. So it is hypocritical for me to be saying this right now. But I would like to point out, I do have a leaderboard, but my entire screen is just the leaderboard and me. Okay? You don't see half my screen is not one of these giant overlays. Pay here. Pay. The third path means I need your support every day. And it means that every day I'm going to ask for it. And it means every day I'm going to hopefully get it. And I will be disappointed if I don't. If you want to do that, please do. I'm not going to complain. But I'm just calling it out. I called this, who was it, Painkiller already many years ago? Their entire it's like 3 tiny little webcams. And their entire screen is like Dollar Shave Club, Water Pick Toothbrush, men's butt wipes. On the screen, it's like, dude, is this a podcast or am I on a fucking website for, you know, to buy products and see shilling? Like, at some point, I would like to have content be the focus of content. Does that make sense? that like you're doing content because you feel like you want to put out a product that someone will enjoy today, and then maybe if they liked the product, then they'll contribute. Not the product is the contributions. It drives me bonkers. And these people are way more successful than me. Maybe my methodology has been wrong all along. And all I should have been doing is thinking about how do I get money today before I even think about what content I'll put out to do it. Maybe that's what I should have been doing endlessly from day one, because everyone there is doing better than me. The guys from Painkiller already do better than me. Jeremy does better than me. So maybe I'm the fool here.
I mean, I'll be honest, just like any other normal human, yes, am I jealous of certain people and people who are successful and whatever? Of course I am. Of course I'm going to have jealousy. That's a natural human emotion for those who have more than you. You're always going to have that natural kind of jealousy of those who maybe have, been more successful or things like that.
Let's continue.
Jeremy then released a video recapping the situation, emphasizing that he needed financial support during this time.
For myself and my staff. A lot of people forget, just for this YouTube channel, there's 4 full-time employees.
Jeremy would transition this into promoting his Subscribe Star, a Patreon alternative.
But we are now 47% of the way to essentially securing all of their jobs.
Another way to contribute. It's a Patreon alternative, Subscribe Star, another one. Another one. Another one. Here we go. So wave your hands. Okay.
This is a screenshot of Jeremy's Subscribe Star from February 24th, 2021. There are 3 goals on the right-hand side.
I'm so exhausted looking at these kinds of screens. Like, okay, I admit, again, I had a Patreon. All right? I did. For a long time, I had a Patreon that was a big focus. I stopped it being a focus. It's like a legacy thing now. I have like 20 people a month who give anything to my Patreon at this point, and it's like a few bucks each. But just because they're people who've loved me for so long, they contribute. I don't, I do nothing on Patreon anymore. Okay, when you contribute to me, I directly shout you out on my streams. I tell you, hey, let's buy games, let's do things. These, I couldn't imagine. I could not imagine my entirety of my existence on the internet is having these kind of goals, and if we hit this amount of funding, we're going to do this, and when we hit this amount of funding, we're going to do this, and then we're going to start this website, we're going to do this project, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. What?
They want to see me topless in the shower again? I guess I'll do it. I mean, no skin off my back. Who gives a shit, right? Seriously, who cares? It's not a big deal. I'll do that. But if there's something else that people want as a goal for this 500 subs goal that'll motivate them to sub, then I'll do that too.
It's too exhausting. It's too much. You're asking and asking and asking and asking and asking. And it's always something else. Does it ever end?
Very, very, very hypocritical.
What are you talking about? How dare you say to look in the mirror? What mirror? I don't have one. Hold on. My phone is kind of reflective. Hold on. Scared me. How dare you make me look at myself? Again, I get it. Again, there's parallels, right? But it would be hard to make a documentary about me like this. There was one. There was a 4-hour documentary. Was it like this one? Was it literally, and then Phil asked again, and then Phil asked again, and there was another project, and there was another thing, and there was another thing, and there was another thing? No, it was like Phil was an asshole in the Street Fighter community, and Phil had his accident, and, it was dumb shit. It wasn't anything like this. Is just like endless fundraising. And it's just, I'll be honest with you. There's some things that I'm laughing at and I'm enjoying. And I am liking that I'm understanding the history of this man to know what's going on right now. But I'm actually starting to get exhausted. Is the rest of the documentary like this? It's just, so here was the next thing he did to raise money. Here was the next thing he did to raise money. And then there was money, and there was money, and money. I'm tired of it. I'm hoping something else happens. Because it's either money or complaining about money at this point. Get fucked, you disingenuous fucking loser. Okay, let's continue.
He explores these feelings in a video uploaded in April titled, "I've Been Kind of Depressed."
Getting older, thinking about, like, man, I don't have any kids, and all these things that pop in your head. I guess it's like a midlife crisis, so to speak, but not like a crisis. I didn't go out and buy a Harley or anything like that. Reality is, because people chose to back me there, I could afford to maybe not do 5 videos a day, 5 days a week. So in terms of like mental health,
I mean, you don't have to work so much, but then you can't have a jet. You understand? Like, I work full time, 5 to 6 days a week right now. There was a time when I actually had to work 6.5 days a week just to keep things going. I had no time off. And that was many years where I had to work that hard just to keep stuff going. Well, I work 2 jobs, I work 3 jobs, and I bust my ass and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so you're jealous. But he's complaining about how much he's working, but also he has a jet. Like, well, then stop spending so much. Stop living this lifestyle of this insane amount of money that you need to keep going. Because it sounds like he just got stuck into this cycle of always, what's the next grift? What's the next project? What's the next thing to put money into? And yes, this has allowed him this life of affluence behind the scenes, but at the very same time, it's completely grinded the man down to dust. And now he's falling apart at the seams. He's always drinking too much, or he's overly tired. It could be a combination of the two. I can't dance. I'm too drunk. I'm too tired. I'm too drunk. I can't dance now. And that's driving him into problems on Twitter and social media. That's now affecting his work. And so when he even sees a tiny decline in views, he flips out at it because, man, that means now I might have to work even harder or whatever. I think he built himself a prison. Like, he actually walled himself in with bricks. It's pretty crazy. Because he's killing himself. Like, who is killing him? He says it's the algorithm, and he says it's these people attacking him. But the people attacking him are actually what's driving his growth, because that's what gets people to rally around him and behind him. He says it's the YouTube algorithm, but every time the algorithm affects him, he asks for more money, and he gets it. So the only thing that's really killing him is him. He's killing himself with the way that he's overworking himself, and he's constantly looking for the next grift.
I'm also a workaholic, so it makes it difficult to, garner friendships or even relationships. I mean, in my whole life, it's certainly affected my marriage, of course. If I have a great day, let's say I upload 4 or 5 videos that I'll get at least 100,000 views each, and they're all monetized, that is a massive dopamine hit. That's big money. I go a day and a bunch of my videos get demonetized. It's like the exact opposite. You feel like you lost out. I feel incapable of taking a day off.
This was a video of lucidity.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Boom. He's done it. He's hit it on the head, and it's exactly what I just said. Dead on. He built himself his own prison, and now what do you do to get out of it? Here's my real question for him. At this point in his life, this is what, 2022? Does he actually like what he does for a living? Because I will say this, tons of the criticism that I can apply to Jeremy can definitely be applied to me, which is why, remember the first video that I put out from last week, I called it a grifter comments on a grifter, right? Because I've been there. I've been in that position that he was in, and I know what it's like, okay? But the difference here at the end of the day, well, I'll say there's 2 key differences from what I can observe between him and me. And difference number 1 is that I actually like my job. Wrong. That's a lie. That's a complete lie. No matter what it is we're doing, I genuinely like doing it. I want you to understand that. That's why I do it. I never would put as much time and effort into what I do if I didn't like it. That's the kind of guy I am. I'm Dark Side Phil. I'm the guy. In fact, I would almost go out as far to say maybe the videos are just disingenuous because he knows it's just content to print money for him. But for me, it's like, no, I like what I do. I genuinely enjoy being here every day with all of you. I want you to understand that. That's number 1. And number 2, the other thing that he's saying, so a day when he comes to his job and he makes his 5 videos and they get good views and they hit the algorithm, he gets a dopamine hit. What I'm hearing is that this man has absolutely no work-life balance whatsoever. And this is something I can 100% attest to because I've been there and I was very, very guilty of this. I didn't have a work-life balance and I was miserable. Miserable. Because it was about work, work, work. Video, video, video. Game, game, game. Stream, stream, stream. Beg, 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 beg. There you go. Here's a nice begging session. Now, I've drawn that line. I have time with my wife every single day. We have at least one full day off, if not more. I like to have more. And there are weeks when I have 2 days off and I have a whole day with her. I don't do any work at all. And the funny part is there's people right now on the kick side of things watching this right now. And they're saying things, where's your wife, Phil? She's right now. She's either across the hallway relaxing or she's downstairs relaxing, waiting for me to finish so we can go spend some time together tonight before I go to sleep. My wife looks like a horse. And that's my life every day. She's there in the morning when I wake up, except the days when she's at work. But she's there in the morning and we spend time together. And now that I'm in a better financial position, we're looking to do other things with our time that we want to do. We're improving the house together. We're making these kind of important decisions. We want to go places and do things together because we can do it now. We literally couldn't have done it until the last positive changes we've seen in the last 2 years. And that's called work-life balance. Like, yes, I'm here a lot, but I also have a life outside of here that you don't need to know about at all. And it's a good one. It's a good life. And I love that life. It's fallacy. It's fantasy. You're cracked. Your head is broken. You need to go get examined. You need counseling and you need help. So I can grind until one day I decide I'm done grinding. I retire and I can step away from it and I'll be the master of my destiny.
The rainy day fund is basically your savings, money that you save up for a special project, for a day when there's just nothing going on. You want to spend some money on something, right? Oh, it's a rainy day. I'm going to go to a park somewhere, go buy something frivolously just to kill some time or whatever. That's what a rainy day fund is supposed to be.
But this guy has gotten to the point where he doesn't like what he's doing and it's torturing him that he has to keep doing this content. It's killing him when he sees a downturn, right? That's awful. Awful. Okay. I think this is a good spot to end because we're starting 2022. As you can see, we're about the 1 hour and 50-minute mark. So we actually are more than halfway through the documentary. I would say that tonight went well. I don't know what you guys feel, but, based off of, my criteria of success, I would say we got a good crowd. We had an engaged crowd. We had a supportive crowd. If you're watching this on demand after the fact and you like this, please like it and leave comments. It's very important because this channel has been defunct for a long time, and that engagement will hopefully get some more people to notice it again because it has been pretty hard to get people to notice anything on this channel if you can do it. Okay, if you can do it, thank you. Thanks to everyone who is here live supporting. We'll do it all again this coming Tuesday night, which will be May 12th. All right, it'll be the Quartering React Part 3, which it appears is going to be the years of 2021, 2022, maybe even into 2023. And then, of course, the Kino Casino arc, which is the current arc of how they just constantly start making fun of him and tearing him apart and, getting into the current stuff that's going on. I just want to remind everyone, here on DSP Gaming, there is zero tolerance for outside drama and nonsense.